All right, today we are getting into a truly classic survival skill, something that is just timeless. We're gonna build the figure four deadfall trap. And look, this isn't just about how to catch a meal, it's about mastering an incredible piece of bushcraft engineering that has worked for centuries. But before we start making wood chips, let me ask you something really important. When it all hits the fan, and you're out there on your own, what is your single most valuable resource? Seriously, think about it. It's not your knife, it's not your lighter. So, what is it? Yep, that's it. Energy. Every single calorie, every bit of strength you have is currency in a survival scenario. You have to treat it like gold. Because every action you take, from building a shelter to finding water, has a cost, and that cost is energy. Now, this little chart really puts it all into perspective. You see, a lot of people think food is the #1 priority. But look where it is. It's way down at number 4. Protection from the elements, figuring out where you are, and getting clean water, those all come first. Food is absolutely vital, don't get me wrong, but you can go for a surprisingly long time without it, if you have the energy to solve those other, more immediate problems. And this brings us to what I call the hunter's dilemma. You know, the idea of chasing after an animal with a spear sounds cool, but in reality, it is a terrible use of your energy. You are burning through calories like crazy, with absolutely no guarantee you'll catch anything. You could easily end a long day with nothing to show for it but sore muscles and a massive calorie deficit. This quote from the SAS says it all. This is the iron law of survival economics. It's a simple math problem. The calories you gain must be more than the calories you spend. You have to work smarter, not just harder. That's the game. So what's the answer to this energy problem? Well, that is where the simple, elegant, and ingenious trap comes in. A good trap is like your own little employee. It's a machine that you build once and then it goes to work for you, hunting around the clock while you spend your valuable energy on other critical tasks. So let's break down why this is so smart. First, the obvious one. It saves a ton of energy. A trap is working for you 24/7, even when you're fast asleep. But here's the real kicker, and this is so important, the psychological boost. In a chaotic situation, the simple act of building something, of creating a tool and setting a plan, that gives you a massive sense of control and purpose. It's a huge win for morale. Okay, enough theory. Let's get our hands dirty. It's time to actually build this amazing little machine. Let's break down how to make the figure four deadfall step by step. But hold on, before we go any further, we have to get serious for a second. This is a real survival skill designed to be effective. That means you should only practice this stuff in a safe, legal, and controlled environment. This is about learning and respecting the craft, so please be responsible. All right, you're gonna need 3 decent sticks about as thick as your thumb and a nice heavy flat rock to act as the deadfall. First up is the vertical post. You're gonna take that first stick, sharpen the bottom so it can bite into the ground, and then, this is the most important part, carve a clean square notch near the top. Seriously, this little notch is the heart of the whole mechanism. Got that done? Great. Now for stick number 2, the diagonal lever. On one end, you're going to carefully carve a chisel point. See how that's shaped? It's designed to fit perfectly into that square notch you just made. Then, you'll flip the stick over, and about halfway down, carve another simple notch. This is where our trigger will sit. And that brings us to the third and final piece of our puzzle, the bait stick. This is your trigger. You sharpen one end so you can stick your bait on it later, and the other end, you'll carve that to a fine point. This point is going to rest ever so delicately in that notch you just made on the diagonal lever. This is the hair trigger of the whole setup. So, here's the magic. It's all just brilliant, simple physics. The incredible weight of that deadfall rock is what actually holds the whole thing together. All that pressure locks the 3 sticks into place. It's like a house of cards, perfectly balanced and just waiting. The tiniest, slightest nudge on that bait stick, and boom, the whole thing comes crashing down. So you've built a perfect little trapping machine. Fantastic. But I've got to tell you, that's only half the battle. A perfect trap in a terrible spot is a useless trap. Now comes the real art form, knowing exactly where to put it. Location is absolutely everything. So how do you find the perfect spot? Well, you have to put on your detective hat. You're looking for what we call animal highways. These are the little pads they use every single day. Look for worn down trails in the grass, tunnels in the bushes, or clear paths near a burrow. Keep an eye out for tracks, droppings, stuff like that. That's where you want to be. Now, you want a pro tip? Something that will make your trap 10 times more effective? It's a technique called channelization. All you do is use some sticks or rocks to build a subtle little funnel along the trail. You're not building a fortress, you're just gently suggesting the path forward, right into your trap. You're making it the path of least resistance. It's a game changer. And one last critical point on placement. You need to be a ghost. The less you mess with the area, the better. Try not to trample everything or leave your human scent everywhere. Animals are smart. They're wary. Your goal is to make that trap look like it just naturally belongs there, like you were never even around. Okay, so we've covered the why and the how. But learning a skill like this, it's about so much more than just sticks and rocks. It's really about building the survivor's mindset. I mean, really think about it. A true survival situation is the definition of chaos. It feels like you've lost all control. But when you build a tool with your own two hands, when you create a functioning machine from scratch, you are pushing back against that chaos. You are creating order. That is an incredibly powerful feeling, and it's one of the best things you can do for your own morale. Because you see, the goal in any tough situation isn't just to endure it, to just hang on. The goal is to prevail. It's to win. Mastering a skill like this is a powerful step in that direction. And it really leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? When you're faced with chaos in any part of your life, what will you create to take back control?